What's up, family? What's up, what's up, what's up? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you're representing. I want you to smash up the likes, family. Smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. If you want to skip the line, you can jump into the super chat. I am going to go in on this subject with my guest, counsel. Do I introduce you as counsel, or do I just say Cassandra Daniels?
You could say Attorney Cassandra.
Attorney Cassandra, that's right. That's how you do it.
Right, I earned that. I earned that.
Okay, Attorney Cassandra Daniels. And then I'm gonna go in with her, and we're gonna talk about this issue that's dogging the good old US of A right now. A lot of people are having problems maintaining a healthy relationship during this pandemic. So we'll talk about some of these issues, and then I'll go into the super chat. And if you have any questions for Ms. Daniels, then get ready, because we're going to be moving pretty fast. All right. So first and foremost, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So we've been having a conversation about family being in such close proximity right now with this pandemic going on. It's not just family issues, between parents and children and other relatives, but one of the most, I guess, one of the things, they say a house divided cannot stand. Right. There's no greater example than the two significants, the man of the house, the woman of the house, not being able to get along, getting on each other's nerves, right? So in your opinion, what is the remedy for this? Like, you are a lawyer, you specialize in divorce law.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of give my background. So I am a family law attorney. So we deal with divorce, we deal with basically all matters that involve the family, be it the children relationship, parent-child relationship, or the relationships between husband and wife. So this is something that I deal with on a regular basis. So ask me your question again, Willie.
Yeah. Well, the question is, like, you told me you started having people come. You've already had people come to you and learn about divorce during this pandemic. Like, how is somebody thinking about, like, okay, I can understand maybe thinking about it, but actually taking the time to contact an attorney in the midst of a pandemic?
Yeah. Well,
how did we get here?
Yeah, the struggle is real. Okay, so here's the thing. So you have people who have been in relationships, been married, because it's across the board, not just husband and wives, but even people who are in dating relationships where they may have only kind of seen each other in the evening times after they both get home from work, and then on the weekends. And now they're forced to be with each other 24/7. So like, that's a whole different dynamic to that relationship. And with all of the things that are going on, the stresses of what's going on, like that, you add that to the fact that they're now all up on top of each other every day, all day, then people really start to feel the stress of that, and conflicts ensue. And then you add to that the fact that people don't really have good conflict management. Then you have people wanting to get out. And in addition to that, you have people who are already in shaky relationships, and this was just the thing that tipped them over the edge.
So when they call you, what do you tell them?
Well, look, my position is this. I don't encourage or discourage divorce. My job is to tell you what options that you have, right? However, it is my practice, though, if someone calls me and I can kind of hear in their voice, that they may not be really ready to pull the trigger and actually end permanently their marriage, then, I handle that. I handle that in a certain way, right? Because I know what's going to happen if I move forward with that. They're going to be the people that call me in a couple weeks saying, okay, I changed my mind. We talked about it. I don't want to move forward. The beautiful thing about Texas, because I'm licensed in Texas only, is Texas has a 60-day waiting period from the time that you file for your divorce to the time that you can actually finalize it and be divorced. There's a 60-day cooling off period. So if you're pissed off or whatever, and you call me up and you say, oh, I want out, and I file, you still got 60 days to really marinate on that to make sure that that's what you want to do. Have
anybody contacted you during the pandemic?
Oh yeah, I've had people contact me so far, and I think that I was uncertain about how if people were going to want to actually divorce during this time with so much going on economically and with so much uncertainty. I wasn't sure if people would want to pursue a divorce, but when you think about the fact that Texas has a 60-day waiting period, I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, because you can go ahead and file your paperwork for divorce now. And, we don't know how long this whole quarantine, social distancing thing is going to last. But at the end of those 60 days, if you still feel the same way and if we're out of quarantine and you feel like, okay, this is a good time now to pull the trigger, you've already waited out your 60 days. Now you just ready to walk out that relationship by the time they're releasing us to go back into the free world. So it makes sense. It does make sense.
Well, with the pandemic, are there is the government, like the government right now is taking extra measures to make some changes to try to accommodate people right now financially, socially and all of this type of stuff. Is there anybody considering making any type of changes to maybe extend this waiting period because of the pandemic?
I can't see that happening. I can't see that happening because, the state legislators have already assessed the situation, and this has been on the books for a very long time. So in order for that to be changed, then the state legislator has to get back together and change the law. And this is a temporary situation. So, I mean, at the end of the day, though, 60 days, I think is a good amount of time for you to figure out, is this what you want or not? And, for some people, for a lot of people, most people, in fact, that contact me, they're convinced already. Like, there ain't you can make them wait a whole year and the answer is going to be the same. They done.
So let me play this side. Let's do a little role play right quick. You can be yourself.
All right. Okay. I'm the lawyer.
Yeah, you the lawyer.
Okay.
I'm mad. Look, man. Look, hey, I want a damn divorce. Who is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get in character.
No, this is me. I'm calling. I'm mad. I'm like, I don't even know your name. I'm like, I just know you're a divorce attorney. Man, look, I want a divorce. I want out of this. Can I get out of this right now before the pandemic over?
Okay, well, sir, tell me about what's going on. Like what?
Man, I can't stand. Everything going on. Everything going on. I just need to get out of this.
Okay, so then I'll go into my whole spiel about, okay, so in Texas, you can file if you're sure that this is what you want to do, then I can definitely help you with this. We can file you a original petition for divorce. However, there is a 60-day waiting period. You won't just be able to get out immediately.
How can I get out of this? Keep my house and my car and all the money.
Well, that ain't gonna happen. Not in Texas. Because anything that's been acquired.
You're a woman. You saying that because you're a woman. You're saying that because you're a woman.
No, I'm saying that because I know the law. I know the law. And anything that's been acquired during the time of marriage is community property. It's owned equally between the both of you, including your paycheck, including whatever cost.
She ain't bought shit, man. She ain't had a job in 13 years.
Well, she chose the right one because everything you've earned for you guys, she has a 50% ownership in.
So you trying to say I'm a simp?
Yes.
Oh, you got me.
That would be yes. But we can still help you, though. We can help you get out. We can help you try to save as much of your assets as possible. Like we can do our best to help you. But real talk, I mean, I don't ever BS my clients. I don't. Like I like for my clients to have a sober expectation. So I'm not gonna gas you up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you what it is. And quite frankly, in Texas, we are a community property state. That means that anything that has been acquired, assets as well as debts, during the course of the marriage belongs to the parties equally. People be like, oh, well, the car is in my name, and even your retirement. He or she has a 50% ownership interest in that retirement, the portion of it that was acquired during the marriage. And it has to be divided, in a divorce proceeding.
Let me ask you this. Like, so I asked you to humor me with the role play thing. And the reason why I asked that, because I always was curious, do people call arguing when they call about asking, when they call to inquire about your services for divorce?
Well, no, because you can only represent one of the parties. So you only are going to ever really talk to
I'm talking about why one person is calling, one party is calling, say, I want you to represent me. Do you ever hear them arguing in the background?
That hasn't happened to me yet. It hasn't happened to me yet. I have though had it where. Say it again.
Now it's going to happen next week.
You know what though? But the interesting thing is, as a lawyer, there is a component to what you do. There's a counseling component to what you do, right? So it's not all. Sometimes you have to deviate from the black and white of the law and actually do a bit of counseling, right? Especially now, like, because the law is playing catch up to our current circumstances. For instance, this is more of a parent-child issue than a husband and wife issue, but spring break, right? In a normal standard possession order, the non-custodial parent, the person who the child does not live with, they have the kiddo for a week. But then the schools extended spring break. So then the question was, who gets the kid? Who gets the kid? And a lot of parents were out here fighting about that, but the law was very unclear. The law was silent because we had never experienced this. So at that time, when you have your clients calling you saying, okay, well, who gets the kid? Who gets kids? Then that's when you have to put on your counselor hat and advise them, not so much legally, but here's what you should do because it's the best interest of everybody that's involved, right? Or more so, the best interest of the child. So yeah, sometimes you got to put your counselor hat on. So if someone calls me and they fighting or whatever, if that was to happen, then that's more of a counseling. That would be more of a counselor perspective that I would have to take than an attorney, because they wouldn't need an attorney at that time. You know what I mean?
So my question is, who gets the kids?
In that situation?
Okay, depending on what the divorce decree says, right? That's who gets the kid. But I think a bigger question is, who wants the kids at this time?
Well, I'm gonna tell you who wants the kids, right?
Yeah.
The person who's bitter and angry and wants to be a butthole and just, it's like they may not even really want the kids, but they want to fight about it. And there's a lot of people who unfortunately use the kids as a tool and weapon against the other parent. And it's sad. It's really sad.
That's cold. Do you, as a divorce attorney, do you ever look at yourself like a tow truck driver, an ambulance chaser or something? Because that's bad news. If somebody's calling you, it's bad news. Well, I guess it could. Well, I just look at divorce as bad news. It could be good for somebody trying to get out, but essentially, it's something didn't work out when somebody calls you.
Right. Well, it's relative, right? Sometimes it's good news. Sometimes it's bad news, right? It's bad news for the person who's being divorced. I've seen that. I've seen situations where, I represent the person that's doing the divorcing, that's initiating the suit, and maybe the other side is pro se, and they're representing themselves. So I have to talk directly with them, and I hear their heart, that they are really devastated that their spouse is divorcing them. But what can you do? But I think that it is good news in situations where, like in domestic violence situations, you know, not just physical violence, but sometimes people are really being emotionally abused in their relationships.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of dysfunctional relationships out there, and I think the best, if there was to be um a silver lining to this quarantine situation that would prompt people to move forward in a divorce, I think the silver lining would be for those people who have been in dysfunctional marriages, and this was the thing that it took to help them say,
Right.
I gotta get out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And
So,
for them, I say, call me. I
right.
got
Okay, let's you know, if I call you for your service, I mean, what's this gonna cost me? You know, what kind of money I'm looking at?
well, I mean,
Depending
it
on how much money I got, huh?
well, no. It depends on the facts. I always tell people it depends on the facts of your case. So what I do is I offer a free 30-minute phone consultation. If you prefer to come in the office when we can do that again, then there's a consultation fee that goes with that. But I offer a free 30-minute consultation where you tell me about what's going on. And then once I make an assessment of the facts of your case, then I can better determine an estimate of what it's going to cost. I work on a retainer, meaning that how I charge you by the time for the time that's going to be required to work your case. So if you have two people who want a divorce, they don't have no property, they don't have no retirement, they don't have anything,
Yeah.
and they agree, then that's going to be cheap. All you paying me for is my time to draft documents and then show up to court to prove up the final decree of divorce. But if you guys own businesses, there's extensive property, you know, then that's going to take more. Or if if he or she is hiding assets, and we, you know, have to hire a forensic accountant or something like that, of course, those things are going to drive up cost. So it really depends on the facts of your case. But I would say this: you need to be, for me, you need to be prepared with at least 1,500 hours
Right.
and up.
Right.
Yeah.
Get your chips together if you're thinking
Get your chips.
road,
Get
fam.
your chips.
Get your chips together.
Your
Now,
coin.
you open that thing, you open that door up to family because you do family law. So flipping the switch on this thing, like let's go from romantic relationships to family relationships and how chaotic this coronavirus thing has made families right now. Are you seeing any uptick in cases right now with family, you know, where families have problems and they may need your services?
Right. So the uptick that we've seen so far has, like I said before, is the parent-child relationship issues where the courts have been silent on what's supposed to happen. So for instance, okay, so we're doing this whole self-quarantine thing, right? Well, actually it's the stay at home order now.
Mhm.
But non-custodial parents still have visitation. They still have their first, third, and fifth weekends if they have a standard possession order. And you have some parents that are saying, okay, well, I'm not going to let you have the kiddo because the kiddo is supposed to stay at home. So I'm
Right.
not going to let you have the kiddo. You've had there are some parents who live in different states. And then the question is, okay, well, do I have to put my child on a plane to go see their mom or dad in this other state because of the, you know, coronavirus and the possible harm to the child?
Mhm.
And again, if you look at the law, the way the law looks at things is black and white. The order says you are to surrender the child every first, third, and fifth weekend if it's a standard possession order at 6 o'clock on Friday, right? You
Mhm.
have to do that. And you know, even though you have those concerns, so that's a lot of the questions. And then there's a rise in domestic violence and people needing protective orders.
Right.
Yeah, which is really sad.
Family, if you're just not joining, make sure you smash up the likes. If you're just not, it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you're representing. If you want to skip the line, make sure your comments go notice, jump into the super chat. I'm talking right now on the line with attorney Cassandra Daniels. She is a family attorney, how do you say it? Family and divorce lawyer, right?
I am people, I guess the general public, because I keep hearing it referred to it as this, a divorce lawyer. but it's I'm a family lawyer. So the family
Divorce
lawyers.
falls under that category.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
The
Right.
family lawyer. All right. I like that, family, because you know I start every broadcast off with family. What's up, family?
Absolutely.
So this
So
is
with family, in addition to divorce, you have child support, which I'm passionate about. You have, which means modifications of child support. You have enforcement.
What's your position on child support?
Well,
as far as like, you know, like men, a lot of men got problems with the women always being greedy or using children as pawns. You know, what's your position?
Here, I'm very passionate about child support, right? And I'm passionate from the perspective of a lot of, and I don't like to make it a man-woman thing. I like to make it to be politically and socially correct, I like to make it a obligee thing. That means the person that has to pay child support. But I can't admit the fact that it is mostly men that end up paying. But I have a problem with the fact that, you know, the Office of Attorney General gets involved with all, they're the ones who mostly run the whole, you know, they run the whole child support thing, collection and all of that. And I see a lot of times the people who have to pay child support, they get screwed. I mean, what people don't understand is that the Office of Attorney General, they do not represent you. They are not your lawyers. They're not the lawyer for the mom. They're not the lawyer for the dad. They're not the lawyer for the one who pays child support. And they're not the lawyer for the ones who is to receive child support. They represent the interests of the state. So when you go down there and you're the one that's supposed to pay child support and you show up without a lawyer, then it's possible, highly likely from what I've seen, that you may end up being screwed, because what happens when they go down there, they got to calculate your child support, right? They gotta do the math, apply the mathematical equation or percentage to your income. And sometimes it gets a little tricky, like if you work for yourself or you have multiple jobs, or if you get overtime, because if you don't have someone there to like make sure that they're calculating it fairly. For instance, if you just say if you bring in your last 2 pay stubs and you've had major overtime, they're gonna base your child support on that check that has all that overtime, and that may not be an accurate snapshot of the broader picture of what you make. But then your child support is set at that amount, and now you're not getting any more overtime, and you're at your base salary, and you're paying more out than what you really should be paying out. When you show up down there by yourself, no one's there to make that argument for you. And again, they want to get as much, it seems to me that they want to get as much money as they can. I hate the fact that the Office of Attorney General is very slow to give people modifications, if at all. And what I mean by that is I've had my clients tell me that, you know, they lost their job or they had a change of employment, and they contacted the AG to say, hey, I'm not making this money anymore. And they've been told that, okay, well, we'll do a modification. And the modification is never done. And until modification is done, if you're ordered to pay $500 a month in child support and you lose your job, you are still on the hook for that $500 every month. And then if you don't pay it, now you're in arrears, and now they got a judgment against you. It's on your credit. Now they suspend your license, all of the other ramifications and harm that comes to you for not abiding by a court order. All that now is in place. I got a problem with the fact that they're quick to enforce for non-payment, but they're very slow to modify. I got a problem with that. Oh, I don't went off on a tangent. I'm passionate about the child support thing. I really am. I'm passionate about that.
Well, they're doing some modifications right now in the wake of this coronavirus.
Are they really? Who told you that?
Oh, I thought they were. I thought that there were, well, not modifications, but I thought that they were making some adjustments for guys who owe.
No. Why do you think that? I haven't heard that.
I don't know, man. They making modifications for everything else. I mean,
the way like I was saying before, the law is very black and white. Okay, if you have an order that says that you're supposed to pay this much money, until that order is modified, you're on the hook for that money. And I've seen a case. In fact, I have a client right now who is on the hook for a kiddo that he later found out is not his. The Office of Attorney General knows that this kid is not his. There is a DNA test that says that the kid is not his, but there's an order that says that he's supposed to pay child support. So even though the Office of Attorney General knows that he's not the father, they're still trying to go after this man for this money.
That's cold-blooded, man.
Cold-blooded. So I know if that's the same Attorney General that did that to him, and I'm still fighting that case right now, then I just can't imagine that they are sua sponte or on their own giving people relief on their child support obligations. I can't see it.
Well, what if a guy, right now, everybody got hardships right now, financial hardships, in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. Guys cannot meet those obligations. A lot of people are not going to be able to pay just basic bills, let alone paying a child support.
Right.
I guess it is a basic bill, but people won't be able to pay child support. They're not going to be able to meet those obligations.
Right.
Can I come to you if I got problems? Can I come to you and say, hey, can you help me get this thing reduced while I'm going through this?
Yes, and I want people to. Like I have just put out an advertisement for my business where I'm asking people to call me for modifications, and I'm actually doing it at a reduced amount because it's absolutely necessary that you get it modified, because what's going to happen is people are going to start calling the AG and saying, oh, well, I was laid off because of coronavirus. But as long as that order says you're supposed to pay this amount, they don't care. You have to follow that order. So what you got to do is not give them your sad story about how you've been laid off because of the virus. You got to get you got to get that order modified. And
Right.
What happens is once you file your petition to modify, and a lot of the court's dockets have been cleared right now. They're not really having hearings on non-essential matters. And I don't think a hearing on a modification for child support it's not considered essential. But what will happen though is once you file and you get the other person served, mom or dad, you get them served, then whenever the matter is resolved and you are granted a reduction, it's going to be retroactively applied to the date of service. So if we file next week, we get her served next week, and we're not able to get in front of a judge for 2-3 months, whenever they give you your decrease in child support, it's going to be retroactively applied to last week. So you won't owe for those previous months. So yeah, if you are on the hook for child support right now and you're not working or your hours have been cut, you need to go ahead and call me if you're not me, call somebody for a modification. And we're doing discounts right now. We're discounting our rates right now for that. Because I'm passionate about this child support stuff.
Yeah. So I want to say this to all of the men out there that's taking care of your business, and you're doing as much as you can for your babies. I salute you. Some of y'all ain't doing nothing. To hell with you. Some of y'all already ain't paying no money, and you're still trying to get it reduced. These kids are expensive. So
it's true. Willie, can I say something about that? So it goes both ways, right? I'm passionate because, sometimes people say I'm pro men, I'm pro dad or pro man, but that's not true. I'm pro what's right. So in situations where, because I've got some clients like this too, where I represent mom and dad is out here running around, trying to get paid under the table, trying to avoid child support. And that makes me just as angry. So if that is your situation where you're taking care of these kiddos by yourself, and dad out here maybe have taken it upon himself to just stop paying you, or if you're in a situation where y'all had an agreement where it wasn't official child support, he was just giving you money and y'all had that kind of agreement. Now he done slacked up on the money, then you need to call me too. Because if that's you, where you guys had a, gentleman's agreement where he was supposed to pay and now he's not paying, now we need to go ahead and get an order in place to where now he's ordered to pay. And when he decides that he doesn't want to pay, you have legal remedy. If you're in a situation where you already have a child support order and he's just not paying anymore, then he's in violation of a court order. He could be put in jail. He could have to pay attorney's fees. There's fines associated with violations of court orders. There are legal remedies to you if you're in a situation where they're not paying their child support.
Right. Well, that's to echo your sentiments. I'm riding with what's right. I'm pro right, as long as what's right. So it's like, because for me, once you give life, life is bigger than yours. So it's all about the babies for me. Like, what is the right thing to do by the babies? Damn what you think about this chick personally. What is the right thing to do for these babies? Because I know dudes who would rather go to jail than to see the woman get some money. I've seen dudes sit up in jail, like cut off their nose to spite their faces, throw the baby out with the bath water, literally, just to make sure that the chick didn't see a nickel. I know there have been cases where dudes have tried to kill women and who have successfully killed women to avoid paying child support.
Wow.
This, so I'm not with none of those type of dudes. All those type of dudes right there, they're what's wrong with society. But if you're riding for your babies, if you're gonna look, man, the bottom line is this: if 2 lay down and 3 get up, you got to pay. There are greater men than us. There are greater men than us who have walked this path and have had to go ahead and take care of their business. It's called manning up.
Yeah.
You make your bed, you lay in that bed, and however you make that bed, you lay in that bed.
Absolutely.
Now, all right, so that's off my chest. So okay, let me switch.
No, I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, and if you one of those dudes that's out there that's like just not a man to take care of your responsibilities, don't call my line. None of them.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. What's your sign? No, okay.
I'm a Virgo.
All right. Okay, here we go. I want to switch gears a little bit. Let's switch gears a little bit. And on a lighter note, because I want to bring the audience in right now. I want to bring the audience in, and I really want to know how y'all living, how y'all getting through this. What's going on in your life? Like what changes have you made since you've been quarantined? Like what's going on with you? How has your life been interrupted for the better? See? Because we know the bad stuff, but how has your life been interrupted for the better? I'll start with me. I hadn't cooked in 2 years. I've been cooking for the last week or so.
What you making?
I'm a very good cook.
What you making?
I had some marinated salmon and some some vegetables and stuff like that.
Okay.
I did some crab legs yesterday. I can go. I can switch it up. I ain't the regular dude. Like I can switch it up. So it's made me really do what I should have been doing a long time ago, and that's really to cook my own food. Eat at home, not be just eating out so much. Because as much as I do eat out, I try to watch my salt and my sodium and sugar intake. That's very hard to do when you eat out because you don't really know what they're putting in the food. I can control that from my home. So tell me, family, what it is that is going on in your life. How has your life changed for the better during this crisis? And you're next, Miss Attorney Cassandra Daniels.
How has my life improved for the better?
For the better, yeah.
So I'm like you too. Like I was one that ate out a lot. So I've been cooking more. I bought a bike. This is probably the best, better improvement. So I bought a bike because I like to try to work out, and the gyms are closed. So I bought a bike and I ride my bike to the park. I went out yesterday, rode my bike to the park all over the little museum district area and the hospital area, whatever they call it, medical center area and all that. Huh?
Women Park?
Yeah, it was good. It was really, I had a great time. Like I had a freaking blast. I think all of this, the highlight of all of this is like forcing me to just get down to like the simple things and figuring out what makes me happy on a simple basis. You know what I'm saying? Like without all the extra hoopla, without all the extra fanfare and people and all of that, and then just being creative. Like me and my girlfriends and some other people that I didn't know, we did happy hour via Zoom the other day, and that was super dope. great conversations.
How does that go? Happy hour. Yeah. So y'all was just on the phone drinking and stuff. And
So just like we are right now. So
Right.
when I sip my drink like this, if you sip your drink now, we're having happy hour on. Now it's happy hour via Zoom.
You should have told me I could have hooked up a little old something. You know, I got
Next time.
Yeah, I got a full bar over here.
Exactly. All you need is your cocktails. And
Yeah.
you get and you know, with the Zoom thing, you can invite whoever like has the link can join in. So it could be people that you know, people that you regularly hang out with, or you can open it up to whoever's on your social media page and meet new people. But everybody's just, just sitting there, just kind of like vibing with each other and flowing in conversation. Like that's been really dope.
That sounds like something to be cool for my subscribers.
Yeah.
For the members of the channel, because I have subscribers and then I have members who actually join the channel for perks. In fact, while I'm on that, let me give some shout outs to my members, my newest members to the channel. And family, y'all make sure y'all show them some love. Kemet Hero, level 1, Keith Harris, level 2, Terrell Al Sharif, level 1, Andrea Power, welcome to level 1. Family, y'all show my new members to the channel some love. It's easy to spot them because they're the ones who have their names in green and they have those little microphones next to their names.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, also.
They're like the King's Court.
Huh?
They're like the King's Court.
What about King's Court?
Or these people, this core group of people that you're calling out right now.
What about them?
Never mind.
Okay, so Love Chanel, Love Channel. She's so beautiful. Love from Jamaica. You getting love from Jamaica.
You.
All right. Love Channel. Okay. Let's see what else y'all saying. I see Michi over here on moderator duties. Y'all give a shout out to Michi, Miss Michi, keeping the trolls at bay.
I love it.
Yeah, keeping the trolls at bay. God's watching. Is forcing us to truly get into ourselves. That's what he's saying about the quarantine.
I agree. What do you think about that, Willie?
Absolutely. But the thing for me is that I work from home already.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an easy transition for me. For some people, they're losing their minds. Like they've been in the house for a whole week.
Yeah.
And then,
so really, you're not missing contact with people at all?
Not at all.
Really? How long have you been quarantined though?
Week and a half.
Let's check back in like another week. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm good though. Like what I'm using this time to do right now also is to put a lot of work in, and I'm plotting and I'm planning and I'm taking phone calls and doing business like that, stuff that I normally would put off,
right?
That would take me a lot more time to do because I have stuff to do in between. Anthony Waller is in the building. Anthony Waller says, I went through 3 lawyers, no help. Yet this just lies and what to get paid hard to find the right one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, look, lawyers have a terrible reputation. And in fact, there are some bad lawyers. There are bad doctors, there are bad accountants, there are bad everybody in whatever sector you're in. There are people who are bad, but lawyers do have a bad reputation. I pride myself in being a lawyer that still cares. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna try to be that way until just forever, until people just wear me down where I don't care no more. But unfortunately, that's the case. But you just got to be wise. I think right now you have the benefit of being able to look at people's reviews and doing your research about the lawyer before you invest money.
Right. Okay. Family. Okay. I see Dana Haley says, great topic. Your producer is on point. Put a target on that thing. That's what I'm talking about. Let's say shooting your shot, Willie. Martina Curtis. Okay, so they trying to make a love connection. What's up? What's up?
Shoot your shot. Let me catch the ball. Let me catch the ball, Willie.
All right. Well, look here. Okay, okay, here it is, fam. I'm finna shoot a shot right quick. Watch this. Watch this. Hold on.
Hold on. Let me get serious. Let me get serious.
Y'all stop, man. We're trying to do a serious broadcast here.
That's gonna be a no for me. It's gonna be a no. It's gonna be a no for me.
Business, family. All right, man. Y'all got me going here, man. Doing all that stuff, man. You know, I business. This is business. Let's see. Pro writers, well, okay. Okay, I started playing keyboard again. Okay, so Harry Coburn says he started playing keyboard again.
Oh, good.
That's good. All right. Picking up the old instrument. That's always a good thing. Let's see. Somebody said, did she say a Virgo? Yeah, she said she's a Virgo. You said you're a Virgo, right?
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo, what is that? What are you, September?
Yes, that's right.
September what?
13th.
September 13th.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Put that in your mental Rolodex.
September 13th. I got you. I got you. What you want for your birthday?
Diamonds and pearls.
Yeah, you know. Be nice, you know. Let's see. Reggie White, I've noticed people looking at me sideways, like I got the damn COVID super flu. Be careful of what you touch. Wash your hands, all right? That should go without saying, but man, you got to remind some people.
Yes.
I have a video coming out later today where we're talking about these people in India who getting their ass whooped by the police.
Oh, I saw that. Like back in the day with you, how your mom and them used to do you.
Man, people are whooping their ass. The police is actually whooping ass.
I love it.
Like I ain't mad at them.
With a whole little stick. I love it. I'm here for it.
I'm not mad at them at all. They should have done that to those spring breakers out here in the US.
Oh, it'd have been a whole fight. It'd have been a whole protest and everything. You know how we do. We got too many freedoms here in America for them to get down like that. Yeah,
that's, you know, it's sad that people don't really just understand the gravity. But you know, I guess it's kind of like a person who uses drugs, right? Who destroy their bodies with drugs or alcohol. It's like, it's their body. How you gonna, you know, it's hard to stop somebody from destroying themselves, but I guess the logic on that end is that, hey, this ain't just about you. Right. You know, you hurting, you know, you putting everybody in danger.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, to hell about you. Like, if you wanna mess yourself up, that's fine. But the problem is the exponential effect that you may have on the next person. And it's sad because that's why they had to do all these orders, because when they were just advising us, people they weren't taking advantage of the advice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, the thing that trips me out is that a lot of people are like already sick and tired of their spouses. Just 2 weeks. Some people have been quarantined in less than 2 weeks, and they're already sick and tired of their spouses.
Willie, do you think that means that they don't love each other? What do you think that means? That
I think that's a problem. And here's why I say it's a problem. Because I would not be in a relationship with a person that I couldn't be around every day. I want to be around, like in the past, before I got my head right, before I really understood like what love is and how to love a woman and what I desire in a woman, I desire a woman that I want to be around all the time. So when I'm away from her, I'm trying to get back to her. Like this ain't nothing even better. Like I'm doing these other things because I have to or whatever, but I'm trying to get back as fast as I can. So I don't really want to be in a relationship where within 2 weeks, I'm already tired of being around this woman. You know, like I've been in those type of relationships before. And I know, and I've also been in the type of relationship where I enjoyed every moment being around a female. Like I'm around her all the time and I like it. I actually like it. So I think that those are the type of relationships that will last the longest is when you really like somebody, not just love them, but you like them. You like, just like you got,
like that's your friend.
Most of us have friends that we like being around all the time. Like even when sometimes we go to their house and we can't leave. We like it be hours just pass and we trying to, and we like being around them as much as we can. So that's the type of relationship that I would be in. I would not be in any other type of relationship, period. Like I want to be with my woman all the time. Of course, I'm not going to be with her all the time because I got stuff to do.
Want to.
And she got stuff to do, but I want to. So being with a woman, like I don't see a problem with, I couldn't foresee a problem with me knowing the type of person that I am, the type of person that I'm attracted to. I couldn't see me being tired of her in a couple of weeks. In fact, I'll be mad at the damn quarantine when it get over because I just can see myself enjoying her company so much. That's how I'm built. Now, I know a lot of people ain't built like that because, we just got a different kind of way of thinking around here, and, people, a lot of us, we're in relationships of convenience. And so.
Oh, that's so real.
Yeah.
You're in a relationship for convenience. It's not that connection, that partnership, that friendship is not there. It's convenience and whatever else reasons, right?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that friendship. I'm talking about friendship, not just, not just sex. I'm talking about a friendship. I'm talking about being spiritually connected, like building together. Like when you with this person, you're looking at this person like, man, this person like actually like brings value to my life. Like this is not the person that completes me. I complete me. But this person adds so much value to my life. This person is invaluable. So you wonder if a person, you wonder why all these people that are having problems within just a couple of weeks of being quarantined with their significant other, why they can't get along when they're on vacations. That's why like a lot of them, they go on vacation, they argue on vacation. They're on vacation just for 4 to 7 days and they're arguing and bumping heads and stuff. Now, if they can't get along at home for a couple of weeks, they damn sure can't go on no vacation together where you have to consider flights, scheduling hotels, tours, restaurants, sightseeing, just stuff that you're gonna do. Traveling, going on vacation is more stressful than it appears to be. But it's a lot of stress that's associated with going on vacation, even booking your flights, trying to get a good deal. Oftentimes when you're just trying to book a flight, it might take you 3 or 4 hours to find the flight because you're stressing over trying to get the right flight, the right time, get in at the right time, get out at the right time, get a good seat, and then you get right where you want to be, and then like, and then the damn seat is gone. So it's a lot of stress associated with vacationing and even going on family outings, going to parties and get-togethers. A lot of times couples drive separate cars because they're getting on each other's nerve and they want to be able to chew when they, so a lot of times that type of stuff go on too. So
Yeah.
I'm just, I've because I've been there, you know, I'm just not interested in somebody that could get tired of me within a couple of weeks, or I
Right.
could be tired of in a couple of weeks.
Right. So I have two questions for you. One,
Yep.
do you think that that's like a realistic expectation for a lifelong relationship where you're forever?
It's gonna have to be for me. It's gonna have to be for me because and if it ain't, I'm cool. Like I'm I'm happily single, but I'm
Yeah,
not happy being single.
yeah. I like the way. Say that again one more time, Willie.
I'm happily single, but I'm not happy being single.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So there's a difference. Like
That
some
is that is
you have some people that say, well, you know, I'm all by myself. I don't need nobody. And that's a lie because we're human beings and human beings were made to need one another. We need companionship as human beings. And anytime you love your dog more than you love human beings, something is wrong with you. I know you think ain't nothing wrong with you, but something is wrong with you.
yeah.
You love animals more than you love human beings.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that as humans, you know, I know that we were made to be with one another. We were made to be together we were made to have companionship. Oftentimes what people do is force that companionship, and they feel like because they've heard from old school people or whoever that you got to work on a marriage, you have to work on a relationship, they find themselves giving way more than they should and trying to hold on way longer than they should. And so, you know, what happens, they end up just losing a whole lot of years in their life, years just going down the drain,
Yeah, man.
wasted on a dead end relationship.
Yeah. And
So, so
that was gonna be my second question to you. Like, once you realize that maybe you've chosen wrong because you chose out of convenience or whatever the reason why you initially chose, like, is there a such thing as getting the train back on the track? Like, can you fix it with that person, or do you just have to abandon ship after a while?
well, I will say that that's a case by case scenario, but majority speaking, no, no. It's not. The reason why it won't work in most cases is because it's too much pain to overcome.
Ah, man, that's real right there.
You caused each other a certain amount
Man,
of
that's
pain, and
so real.
once
Yeah.
you hurt people that you're supposed to love, what happens is that that person no longer trusts you.
Yeah.
And that person becomes resentful.
Yeah.
And once that person becomes resentful, then disrespect comes. And then once the disrespect comes, the relationship is over. Once
Yeah. It's
disrespect comes,
downhill after
it's
that.
over.
It really is.
A
Yeah.
person disrespect you one time, and in your mind, if they did it once, they'll do it again. And so you never fully trust that person again. That's why oftentimes when people are in long-term relationships, it's tumultuous for, let's say they're in a relationship for 10 years. Well, 8 of those years was tumultuous. 9 of those years was tumultuous, but they stayed together out of familiarity, or because they didn't want to lose that person, because they had a certain connection. That person had certain qualities that they liked. So they stayed together, kept it together. And in the back of their mind, they're saying, this is what happens in relationship. You go through this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I know every single person who've ever planted a seed in my head where I doubted them, where they betrayed me, where they disrespected me, where they dishonored the friendship. I never trusted them the same way again. So
Yeah.
you'll never have that same amount of trust. And that's
Yeah.
why also women leave relationships a lot sooner than they actually leave the relationship. They leave
Absolutely.
emotionally. Women leave the relationship emotionally well before they leave physically.
That's real
A lot
talk.
of dudes be thinking they got it going on and they still got everything under control, but they don't understand that the woman is calculating her moves. And
She's
she's already
picked out
starting.
already.
She's just waiting on the Astra perfect time.
Right. To
That's
leave.
why one day she can be telling you, I love you too, baby. You might be knocking her back out. And y'all be like going at it. And she like, I love you, baby, and da-da-da. I love you, baby, da-da-da. And the next day, you walking out, what the hell?
She gone.
Hey, where you at? What's going on? You been in the house? And somebody that took all the furniture out the house, and
She gone.
somebody that robbed us. No, Earl.
I ain't been happy for a long time, Earl.
I'm gone, like I'm gone. So, and that's why a lot of times dudes freak out because they thought they had it under control all the time. And just like that, like, hey, man, how you gonna say you love me? She gonna leave me like that just yesterday, man? I just did this for her.
Right. And it's really dangerous because we're calculated and we'll be plotting. So we may not say a word, but we've checked out of the marriage. And now we plotting, we calculating on, we lining things up, we stashing back money, and then before you know it, we gone. That's how it was for me in my divorce. I left mentally, emotionally before I ever left physically.
Right.
Before I ever left physically. But I don't know. But I do think that it's possible. I think a marriage or a relationship can get back on track, but I think you got to have a third party intervene, some sort of counseling or something. And a counselor and two people willing to do the work, willing to put their pride aside and recognize their faults and weaknesses and be willing to do the work. And then maybe so.
And as long as there's no abuse involved, then it's a chance. As long as there's no physical abuse involved, there's a shot. You got a shot.
Physical or emotional, because emotional abuse is just as dangerous as physical abuse, like that.
Yeah, but
it's true.
But sometimes it's I guess it's the degree of emotional abuse, because the degree could be I called you out of your name one time, and the whole time we've been together. Not that I've been hitting you constantly every day for the last 3 years. That's different. That kind of emotional abuse is irreparable, I believe. But if you said something bad to me, I said something bad to you, we had a big argument, we had a big fallout, and now we've been holding on to this one thing.
Emotional abuse is, the way I define emotional abuse, is your partner is telling you how you're ugly, how you're fat, how nobody else is gonna want you, how you're stupid, how you're not a good mother, like always putting you down. Always. It's like psychological warfare. He or she never put their hands on you, but they are tearing you down mentally and emotionally.
Yeah, I don't think you can bounce back from that. See,
you can't, because the scars from that sometimes are worse than the ones that you acquire physically.
Yeah, that's different. That's different when somebody, because that's actually somebody like somebody's like basically throwing their perception of what you are in their mind, like, this is what you are, this is how I see you. And if they are doing that, that's how they always see you, and that's how they're going to always, that's what they really, really think about you. Mm-hmm. I don't think that you can bounce back from that type of relationship. Mm-hmm. But I think once the trust leaves, it's over. Sometimes, like I say, people do bounce back. My brother's in a relationship where he bounced back, and he's been happily married for the last, I don't know how many years. But that is very, very rare that happens. So that's why I say it's worth a shot. I think a relationship, I think a marriage especially, is worth savaging. Give it a shot. Like, at least give it a shot. Go to therapy, do whatever you got, try to save it. But in the case of abuse,
you out of there. You need to call me. You need to call me ASAP.
It's time to bounce.
I got you. That's real talk.
Yeah, it's time to bounce in the case of abuse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let me see if anybody got any direct questions for you.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me check this super chat right quick though. Bon Satch, what's up, Bon? Andrea Powell. We have Prime E. You're a major part of Southern history, and what's TY?
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, hey, all right, appreciate you. Appreciate you, Prime E. Thomas B, I see you. So let's get to some questions here.
I'm curious if your followers or your watchers are like dealing with relationship issues.
Okay, you got relationship. Do you want them to ask you some relationship questions?
Yeah, I want to know like whose relationship is being challenged by this whole stay home self quarantine thing. How many
Okay.
people are actually experiencing that?
Okay, family. How many of you out there are experiencing some type of drama because of this quarantine?
Yeah.
Or
Y'all out there just sexing it up, having a good time.
yeah, who's stepping up their body count? Y'all don't need to be doing no body counts right now.
Hell, heck no.
Some of them are out there probably thinking it's the end of the world. Like, let me
Yeah,
get
just risking it all. Risking it all.
let's see. What do women want again? Diamonds and pearls. When we say kings and queens, we just be playing. We ain't that serious. They coming for you.
Okay, I'll take a rhinestone. I'll take a rhinestone.
What? Okay, this who said this? Ernest McCall says my ex would not go to counseling. So, hey, so that's a person that don't want to try. I mean, so ain't nothing to do after that, you know, but bounce.
Yeah.
So let's see. Men need to be more open and upfront about how they feel. I think everybody needs to be more open and upfront about how they feel. Yeah, because I mean,
male issue.
Willie? Both sides play that game.
Both sides?
Both sides play that game. You know, the statement was men need to be more open and upfront about how they feel. Here's the thing. Women marry guys they can live with. Guys marry women, you know, women marry men they can live with. Men marry women they can't live without. I studied this shit. See, this is why a lot of times when the relationships end, dudes become very aggressive, you know, and they become very dangerous, because when that dude is standing up there saying, "Till death do us part," that nigga is thinking about how he gonna kill her if it ends. He's like, "Till death do us part." She thinking, "Oh yeah, you know, it's preliminaries, you know, till death do us part." That fool.
It has more to do with being possessive than it does with like love.
It is. That's what I'm saying, and that's why. See, what happens is that we don't hurt the people we love. We don't hurt the people we love. We hurt the people we should love. Look at all of the parents who hurt their children every day.
Oh, that's very profound. That is very profound.
Look at all the parents who hurt their children every day. Look at all of the significant others who bring harm to their significant others, whether it be cheating on them or beating on them or stealing their money, overspending, whatever. The pain that they cause that person that they lay their head next to.
That's a great point.
This person got control of your life. You're at your most vulnerable when you sleep. Mm-hmm. This person is in the house and you sleeping, and this person walking around the house. Sometimes they be laying in the bed looking at you like this.
Yeah, I just hate this.
The person do anything they want to do to you. This is the person that you should love. You should love this person, not just be with this person. This is a person you should really love and you should really try to take care of. Y'all should take care of each other.
Yes.
Y'all should really be riding for each other. It should always be you two against the world if the world want to come at y'all. So, but it's not like that.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, you know, people harm the people that they should love. You cannot tell me you love your children and you kill your children. Or you cannot tell me you love your children and you disrespect your children. You beat on your children. You mentally, emotionally abuse your children. You don't make sure that your kids are are getting their studies in. You don't make, you're not talking to your kids about the kind of friends that they pick, and you're not vetting their friends. You're not paying attention to, to their lifestyle. You're not asking these critical questions. You're not asking them, what do you want to do? And you're not assisting them in getting to the next stage of life, whether it be the next stage of life, be middle school, high school, college, or starting their own business. You have to invest in your children at all times, and you cannot tell me you love your children if you're not doing all of these things. Having a child is the most important job a person could ever have, period. You are developing a human being. That is the greatest job ever. You'll never have a job that serious, ever. I don't give a damn how much money you make and how many pats on the back you get for doing whatever the hell you do.
Yeah.
You'll never have a job that serious, that important. So to me, I say, you got to pour a whole lot of love into your babies, and don't be part of the world's problem. If you didn't get everything you wanted and you wasn't the best that you could be, pour it into your children so you can show the world that you didn't just come here and party and bullshit and drink and have a bunch of sex and die.
Right. I think that's a great point.
Make a contribution to the world.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think that's a great point in the sense of, understanding what you lacked growing up as a child, what you did not receive, being self-aware of how that affected you, and then making a conscious decision to do something different with the children that you have. Because otherwise, if you don't bring consciousness to what that is for you, then you will just duplicate. As much as you hated your upbringing and aspects of your upbringing, you will duplicate that in your own children. But just taking that moment to become self-aware of what it was for you and how it negatively affected you and how you don't want to pass that on to your seed, I think is a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sonny Shook says, what if your woman always have something negative to say about you, regardless of how much you do for her, how much you help her and take care of the bills? So that's your question.
It's for me. Here's what I say about it. Your first obligation is to honor and respect yourself. And sometimes we disrespect and dishonor ourselves via someone else. And what I mean by that is, while you're not disrespecting and dishonoring yourself personally, you are allowing that person as a tool to disrespect you. And so if you make a decision that you value and you honor yourself, then you're not going to tolerate people being around you dishonoring and disrespecting you. Like if you are giving the best that you have and you are being demeaned, your efforts are being demeaned, you're not being respected and honored in that union, then the question for you is, why stay? Why stay? Now I understand this, in marriages, sometimes it's hard to walk away because you got mortgages together, you got children, you got all these things. Sometimes it's hard to walk away from a marriage. But if you're in a dating relationship and y'all ain't sharing no property, and you always, bottom line is you have to honor you first and never allow yourself to be dishonored and disrespected by proxy of another person. What are your thoughts on that, Willie?
I absolutely agree. You teach people how to treat you.
You teach people how to treat you all day long.
Yeah. So if his woman is constantly, well, I'm gonna talk to you straight, Sonny. If your woman is constantly having negative things to say about you,
why she there?
Regardless of how much you do for her and take care of the bills, that is your fault because you didn't nip it in the bud from day one. The first time she had something negative to say about you, you should have let her know, hey, I don't appreciate that. And not only do I not appreciate it, but we're not going forward with this relationship with that attitude.
Right.
Like you're not gonna handle me like that. You ain't that fine. You ain't that cute. You ain't got that much money. You ain't got that much good looks or whatever it is you got. You ain't that smart. You're not about to handle me like that.
Yeah.
And when you teach people how to treat you, whether that be treating you bad or good.
That's real talk. That's real talk all day long.
JL, I see you, JL. I see you. So how you feel about, who is this? Rodney Thompson says, how you feel about this same-sex marriage? How do I feel? You talking to me? No, you ain't talking to me. You answer that question.
Love is love. I don't have an opinion about it. As I'll answer your question from the perspective of a family lawyer. I'm all for it, because same-sex marriage, people that are in the same-sex marriage got to get a divorce just like everybody else. So from a family law perspective, I'm for it.
Who
That's
said
it.
that? Somebody said, a comedian said something like, yeah, let their asses get married. So it needs to be something. He said, let them get married so they can feel this shit we feel it, like go through the same things we going through.
Yeah, I don't judge people's lives. What you do is what you do. That's your business, because I don't want nobody judging my life. But from a professional standpoint, I'm with it because, hey, that's just my money in our pockets. That's family lawyers.
There it is. Lily, no drama, all love and lots of sex. Lily over there getting it in. 20 years strong.
Wait. Repeat. What about the sex?
Lily say no drama, all love and lots of sex. 20 years strong.
Lily, what's your secret, boo? What's your secret? Jesus.
What is herd screw? H-U-R-D. Well, am I missing something?
I don't know that one.
Hashtag herd screw.
I don't know that one.
Herd crew. All right. Well,
I'm old. I don't really know.
okay. So SMS says that was Chris Rock. Chris Rock said that.
Oh.
So Sonny Shook said it wasn't like that until 6 years later. So his woman didn't start trying to handle him like that until 6 years later. You know, sometimes you know, it happens like that where people change, you know, along the course of the relationship, because you know people grow at different rates, and so a lot of times what we don't take that into account. That's why it's very important to talk to the people that you're with, that whatever person that you're in a relationship with, and like, hey, you know, what's your 5-year plan? You know, where you see yourself in 10 years? What about 20 years? You know, what about 30 years? You know, like, hell, you might not even be in the picture. If you have that conversation, they might tell you, yeah, I see myself single and on a beach.
Right. Or I see myself with 6 kids, and you know you don't even want 1 kid.
Yeah. They might say, you know, where you see yourself 5 years? Oh, I see myself married with kids. And but what about 10 years? I see myself divorced, living my best life, and da da da. You know, you got to have that conversation and be realistic that sometimes life is going to throw you things, and you're going to find yourself doing stuff you never thought you would do anyway. So people grow at different rates, and you have to have that buffer there to allow people to grow at different rates and understand and be realistic about relationships. And that's why it's important to try to at least have that timeline conversation. Like, most people never have a timeline conversation. They just go and just be going off the cuff, and they think, well, it's going good now, let's just see where it goes.
Yeah. But you know what, Willie, to add to what the point that you're making, you know, because we are constantly evolving as individuals, you know, for you guys to like grow and evolve together, I think you have to constantly be checking in with one another to make sure that you still know who that person is, and they still know who you are, because every day we evolve. You know, if I got cussed out, or I had a run-in with somebody, or if I had a loved one die, that's shifting who I am. That's affecting who I am as an individual, and that may have a effect on the relationship. So you have to constantly be checking in with your partner so that you guys are always kind of like hovering around the same page.
That's true. It's equally important to treat that person that you're with as a teammate and never an enemy, because sometimes when you do have this stuff, you got a lot on your plate, you know, you had a hard day. A lot of times people do come home and dump that off on the people that they're supposed to love the most. And that's not fair to them. And it's not even fair to you, because what you're gonna get what you give.
Yeah.
So if you let off that negative energy like that, then you know you got to expect for it to come back, because hell, everybody got problems, everybody got issues. And even if I didn't have a bad day, let's say you had a bad day and I didn't have a good day, now you just fucked up my day. You know, like, now I'm really mad because, man, everything was going good till you came in here with this beer. And now we going back and forth, and really, you should come to me and you say you had a bad day. Hey, baby, how was your day? Oh, it was horrible. You know, give me a minute. I give you a minute, you know, go to your neutral corners, you know, give you a minute to decompress. Well, anything I can do to help? Nah, baby, okay, fine. Anything I do it? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to treat that person like they're your teammate. Like, we're on the same team.
Yeah,
And,
friend, not foe. I'm your friend, not your foe. But if I do slip up, and because like you said, you know, it's easy to go off on the one that's the most accessible to you. So if you come home, you had a bad day, it's easy to go off on your partner. It is. I mean, as much as you want to be a good partner and a good human being, like, we're flawed. So you may go off and cuss out the person for that other. You may have gotten cut off on the highway and got flipped off, but you come home and you cuss out your partner. It's unfortunate, but I think your partner, if both of you have the mindset, we're friend, not foe. We're friends and we're not enemies. Even if my partner is tripping, I'll suffer the brunt of that. And I'll say less until time is such that we can have the conversation. Now I need to check you on what you just did.
if you got cut off on the streets on your way to court, and you experienced a road rage, person cussed you out, pulled a gun on you, shot in the air, sped off, had you almost ran into the ditch and everything, and you got out, you bumped your car against the curb, messed up your wheel, you barely made it to court on time, you walk in, you gonna cuss that judge out?
Oh no.
No, you're not gonna cuss the judge out. So what my point is that we have to have the same amount more respect for each other than we have for strangers.
I agree with you, Willie, but I'm talking about real life.
I'm talking about real life, because I'm telling you this is how I'm telling you that being cognizant of that is what, like, being cognizant of the respect that we should always have for each other is what makes the relationships last longer. Like, I got a friend that I haven't had an argument with in over 30 years. We have not had an argument. And we're around each other all the time. We talk on the phone all the time. We haven't had an argument in over 30 years. And the last time we had an argument, it was my fault. I was tripping on something, you know? So it was my fault. And I'm telling you, the reason why we don't argue is because we appreciate each other. We appreciate what each other bring to the table as friends. And we understand that having a real friend is very difficult. You know, to get a real friend is very difficult. Friends do not come, good friends do not come a dime a dozen.
True.
Great friends are even harder to come by. So this is a great friend. So oftentimes we respect our friendships. We respect our friends more than we respect the person that we lay next to at night or in the morning.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
so my thing is that just to have that, if we kept that in our mind, like, I want to make sure, just like we say, you know, I'm gonna make sure I don't mess this friendship up. I'm gonna make sure I don't mess the relationship up. I'm gonna tell you, if I get into a relationship with a woman, and I'm telling you, I've been to blame before. I know how to do right and I know how to do wrong in a relationship. I know. Going forward, where I am in my life right now, at this moment, If I enter into a new relationship and it go bad, it's gonna be because of her.
Because of her?
It's gonna be because of her. Now keep in mind, I'm not the dude that's saying every relationship I've ever had was because of the woman. It went bad because of her. I'm saying that I've been the culprit many times.
So you've just evolved and you've grown to a place.
Yeah, I understand. I really
Willie,
understand.
shoot your shot again. I'm ready to catch the ball.
I understand. You're supposed to already had a ball. See what I'm saying? See, you slipping. You slipping on your pimping, man. Yeah. I'm not talking to you. I'm gonna have to have a sidebar with you, counselor.
Back to the questions. Back to the questions.
Right. So Lived It says, not until tragedy strikes do many realize that relationships are dangerous if there is no love between the two. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes you don't realize how dangerous things are until tragedy strikes. Mm-hmm. And it's a shame that in times like this, when we have a crisis, where we should be pulling closer together, that some of us are allowing a wedge to come between us. So, hey, you know, I thank y'all for joining the broadcast. You know, I thank y'all for sharing your stories. I want y'all to be safe out there. Be very, very careful. I want to thank my guest, attorney Cassandra Daniels. Counselor, how can the people find you?
Okay, so the name of my law firm is Daniels Law Firm PLLC. You can follow us on Instagram. That is at Daniels_law_firm. Same thing on Facebook. You can call our office to schedule a consultation, free consultation, 30-minute consultation. That number is 346-703-1234. Again, that is 346-703-1234. Do follow us on Instagram. Do follow us on Facebook. Yeah, so I put, you know, helpful information and tidbits and things like that on there for you guys.
Well, you gave out a lot of important information. Before we go, I want to just give a few more shout outs and cover my super chat people that went in on the chat. New members, first and foremost, Kemet Heru, Keith Harris, Terrell Al Sharif, Andrea Power, new members to the WillieDLive channel. Y'all show them some love. It's easy to spot them. They're in the green. They got the mics next to their name, the green mics next to their names. Love channel. Appreciate you. Andrea Power again, Bon Satch, Prime E, Thomas B, Prime E again, Sonny Shook, JL, Lee says no drama. Sonny Shook went in today on that super chat hard. Lived It, Rockaboo Music, how much attention a man, woman needs daily in a relationship or marriage. We'll answer that question in the chat. Cyrus One and Lily, I appreciate all of y'all for joining, and everybody else that's in the chat. Appreciate you big time. Thank you once again to my esteemed guests.
Thank you, Willie D, for having me. I've had a whole bunch of fun with you guys today.
Absolutely. Likewise. Until next time, family, you ain't seen me and I ain't seen you. No more talk.